What is up, everyone? This is Spire Fan. Time to cover the brand new year 2026. Got Pokemon flying around everywhere, energy cards attaching to all these Pokemon, all this damage counters running around. I will say this, PSA, if you're playing Pokemon TCG, it's been a lot more widespread, but I remember when I got into competitive back in 2007. And quickly, at first I was using, the paper damage counters, but yeah, dice, I'm so glad it's become more and more public knowledge to how convenient dice are. I don't mind physical damage counters, but it's gotten I loved seeing Pokemon, like official merchandise, start pushing for dice, like the clear-cut tournament legal dice for rolling, but also with damage counters. So really cool to see, really took off with those Elite Trainer boxes, and I definitely think Kyle Sukovich had a big part in that. I think he's really helped elevate the game and really push for a lot of just kind of quality of life changes to help players. So we had a great turnout here and a great turnout of games. I mean, it's always great to see people having a good time playing Pokemon. We got 5 rounds today. Let's jump right into it. So round 1, we have Quinn versus Romeo. Quinn is running Scolipede, Dusknoir, Azelf, and Romeo is running Zangoose, Ursaluna, Furfrou. We do see a start with Duskull versus Zangoose. Duskull definitely looking, you got to be careful with the ability from the opponent. The opponent needs to be careful. That being said, Zangoose, for one colorless, can pull up a benched Pokemon and do 20 damage. So you definitely got to be careful there. You can see Quinn reading Zangoose, who also has the thick skin Pokebody, which says that Zangoose cannot be affected by special conditions. Pretty big thing to have as a trait. And again, Zangoose is a fully evolved basic Pokemon. So from the get-go, already can't be poisoned, disrupting the opponent. And we do see Zangoose level X being played here. Got the double colorless, got the stone energy being played, which is minus 10 done to the Pokemon. Zangoose level X, looking to put some counters on it to boost its damage potential. While Venipede is out, it looks like he evolved into Scolipede or Whirlipede there, and Dusclops on the bench. Looking like Romeo pulls up Dusclops, going for some more disruptive plays here. We do see an evolution into Dusknoir here. Dusknoir level X, which says that if it gets knocked out, it'll become a stadium. 10 damage counters to all your opponent's Pokemon, or 10 damage to all your opponent's Pokemon between turns, which are shown as damage counters. We do see Squawkabilly and Ursaring Prime on Romeo's bench. So the thing with Ursaring Prime is, when Ursaluna came out, Ursaring was a fully evolved Pokemon, so we needed a not fully evolved version of Ursaring, and Highlander chooses Ursaring Prime. This is the same with also Girafarig. Girafarig's a fully evolved basic Pokemon, so when Farigiraf came out, we decided on a Girafarig that already existed as the not fully evolved Girafarig, in typical fashion of pre-evolved Pokemon being official cards. That being said, we see Golett on the bench. Nice float stone there. Move into Dusknoir. You got the, looks like the Mystery Energy and the DCE. So definitely allowing Dusknoir to pivot around pretty well. We do see Ursaring Prime. Pretty loaded up. Ursaring Prime does say if it has at least 1 damage counter, its attacks do 60 more. Looks like a strong energies on Ursaring Prime, but Dusknoir is able to get a knockout there. And Quinn definitely getting some momentum here. We do see Scolipede on the bench with double colorless energy. And we see Golurk with a float stone and a psychic energy. Cynthia's played. We do see Squawkabilly there. And we do see the glove Pokemon tool card, the punching glove. Able to do some damage back if Squawkabilly is knocked out. A switch to Furfrou, pretty tanky Pokemon. Got a DCE attached. And looking to do some disruptive plays here. Quinn is looking at his resources here. Got Azelf on the bench. And Eevee, Slowpoke. Looking like, again, Dusknoir, able to continue to spread havoc. 1 damage counter on all your opponent's Pokemon that have energy attached. And Quinn was able to take that game. Once again, the matchup there is, kind of defense versus spread damage. So it definitely plays a big factor there. And now next up we are seeing Jate versus Brian. Jate playing Vanilla Xatu Arbok, Brian playing Volcarona Salazzle Arcanine. But yeah, that past matchup, it is definitely overall kind of poison damage counter spread versus defense. Colorless defense while also going into hyper offense, so definitely can be lethal from both sides. Here we go, starting Vanillish versus Growlithe. Brian already trying to load up a full bench here. We do see a Larvesta there with the special fire energy that does plus 10 damage. We do see Jate building up his bench as well. Both sides already got a full bench. We see Ekans on there. Ekans, can evolve into Arbok, and Arbok can use all 3 of its attacks for 1 psychic energy. So definitely have a lot of options with just 1 energy alone. We do see another energy loaded onto Grimer. Jade's deck is definitely centered around paralysis and poison, and Brian's is kind of like a fire beatdown burn type deck. We've seen it many times, and he's continuing to look to improve with it, and he's definitely been improving a lot, which is cool to see. We do see the poison burn inflicted from Salazzle's Poke Power there. Muck is promoted with 2 energy. Muck is burned. Muck does get a Pokebody that lets it heal if it's affected by a special condition. Natu pulled up, looking like Natu getting knocked out there. Roseanne's research, getting some resources there. You can get both basic energy or basic Pokemon. We do see Volcarona level X on the right there, and those coins represent counters, and basically for each counter, Volcarona level X will be doing more damage, and also you can be drawing more cards at the start of your turn with Volcarona level X. It also gets more HP. And we do see a knockout there from Volcarona level X. We do see Arbok here with the dumbbells. Dumbbells say that if it's on a stage 1 Pokemon with a base HP of 90 or below, it gets 40 more HP, which can turn Arbok into a tank. That being said, Brian was able to get 2 of those counters up and able to just kind of go for a setup sweep play, and he does take round 2. Round 3 is me versus Romeo. I am running Dracovish, Drapion, Clefable. The idea of the deck is kind of just a pretty big rushdown based multi-type deck. I cover every type in this deck, and I'm definitely going for Drapion ASAP, going for Drapion level X, trying to get some tri-poison plays. So the thing is, again, Romeo's got a really good hyper defense, hyper offense, colorless deck, and so when it comes to hyper defense, you see right there a Furfrou with an Eviolite. So one big thing in Highlander, and kind of in Pokemon in general, including like Smogon formats, Smogon standard formats, is if something is hard walling but you're able to poison it, that can really shake their foundation. Starts to put a timer on them. So I'm going for Tri-Poison. Also, Drapion has an attack that says if the defending Pokemon is an EX, they're basically paralyzed, and you're paralyzed and they take some damage. So I'm actually locking the wall there as my kind of counterplay. I'm building a Abomasnow on the bench with DCE, but Romeo promotes Ursaring level X on top of Ursaring Prime, which is pretty cool to see. He's also got a Zangoose loaded up with 2 energy on it, pretty good. Strong energy does stack with Invite and Strike, so it would be doing 30. I got Clefable here, got a Float Stone. Going into Abomasnow, going for Snow Play, which kind of just spreads 20 damage to all the opponent's bench that aren't water or grass types, and 10 to the active. So what I'm seeing here is because Furfrou's benched, I pivoted out Drapion, which you can use Drapion level X's Tri-Poison power from the bench. So my kind of idea was like, okay, I might be able to do Tri-Poison while spreading damage with Abomasnow. I do think in Highlander, spread damage is huge in general, just because the HP levels are a lot lower compared to Gens 5 and beyond. And so being able to do 1 to 2 snow plays alone can put a lot of Pokemon into KO range on average. I go into Pheromosa there. I'm trying to take advantage of the fighting weakness. That's a big part of this deck, is because you're running 1 of each type. At least you are trying to hit for weakness in a lot of cases. But you see Zangoose here, able to, looks like, do some pretty good damage with its final attack, Chop Up. It still promote Drapion level X. Just kind of want to keep Furfrou in check. Furfrou does not have Eviolite anymore, but it's still pretty tanky. We do see me using Guzma to pull up Fearow. And now I have Weirdeer, which does 30 damage plus 10 more damage for each energy attached to Weirdeer and the opponent's active Pokemon. So I'm able to close out the game there with Weirdeer. Round 4, now we have Jate versus Romeo. And again, another interesting matchup. You have poison paralysis based strategies versus kind of a hyper offense defense strategy. We do see Squawkabilly starting with, a good call for family based attack if you want to use it. We do see Romeo play Winona, which lets you grab up to 3 colorless Pokemon, put them into your hand. And it looks like he benches all 3. It's a nice family of colorless Pokemon right there. Jay kind of getting close to a full bench too. He's got Articuno, Natu, Coughing, and Clamperl, so really just one away there. We do see Muck with 1 Psychic Energy, so he is able to pull up Pokemon, poison them, and confuse them. If you evolve, it does get rid of conditions though. We do see an evolution to Ursaring Prime, and promote to Furfrou, DCE, Muscle Man. He's definitely trying to get some damage on the board. And looking like he uses energy cutoff to get some card discards. So that's another thing, is that Furfrou is tanky, but also highly disruptive. And we do see him discarding a Marnie. Looks like Toxapex. And that's pretty big. Now, it doesn't look like he was setting up Toxapex on the bench this time. But, definitely got to be careful there. When any Pokemon can discard from the deck or the hand. Because Highlander is one of each Pokemon, discarding 1 line can undermine an entire strategy there. So that being said, Furfrou, again, holding its ground. Looking like Romeo's taking the prize there. Jade's thinking about who to promote. We do see Vanillite there. Got a draw here. Going into Psychic Energy. See what he does off of the draw. Definitely getting some resources out there. Looking like Defender on Galarian Articuno. And we do see Vanillish there. So pretty good. Oh, sorry, Vanillite, right? That's the basic. And then he evolves into Vanillish, right? We do see plus power on Furfrou. Again, Romeo's deck is all about hyper defense and offense, being able to quickly change the dial with more sustainability, allowing him to be pretty flexible when he wants to go offense mode and defense mode. We do see a promotion to Weezing, which says poison Pokemon take 10 more damage between turns. Articuno level X, the defender out. I think the defender should be gone, but it looks like both players didn't catch that. That's okay though, and looking like Furfrou getting hit with a knockout there. Articuno level X looking to do some damage. We do see Fearow level X, which can build up those sniper counters. Again, if you see coins on a Pokemon, that usually means a counter, which boosts their stats usually in some way, and Fearow basically lets you do more damage for your Pokemon. And now we have Game 5, Ramen Noodles versus Quinn. Romeo took that last game with the kind of Fearow level X finisher. And looking like, Ramen Noodles playing his Raichu, Jolteon, Zekrom deck. And, looking like he gets a knockout on Quinn's only basic Pokemon. And Ramen Noodles was able to take it. I do remember that they ended up playing a game for fun right after. And in Highlander, if you get your Pokemon knocked down and you haven't taken a turn yet, you are allowed 1 turn. But after that, yeah, it's a free game. You can get benched. That's definitely an important aspect of the TCG I didn't want to take away. And at the end, I did end up winning the tournament. Really fierce competition. It was really cool to see. And as always, thank you to the Pizza Place for letting us host. I look forward to future tournaments with them. If you're in Kansas City, I'm not paid by them at all, and I genuinely mean what I say about they have some of the best pizza I've ever had. And I think a part of that is because I've talked to the owners, and they are doing hard work every day. Like every day, from what I've gathered, they are researching what people like, and they're experimenting, like what are some really great pizzas we can try, scouting the competition, staying competent, staying educated, and always staying kind. I think that's an important aspect. I'm definitely looking forward to the future tournaments that the Pizza Place lets us host there. And I just, again, don't take kind people like this for granted in your life, whether it is hosting Pokemon tournaments or someone being kind and saying, yeah, you can hang out here. And, it's definitely, I think kindness can go a long way. Be mutually respectful, and you can have awesome things like people meeting other awesome people at these tournaments and beyond. And definitely, it's kind of one of those things where you just take a leap of faith at times, and obviously, never mistake kindness for weakness. I love, Robert on Shark Tank saying that, but in this case, the Pizza Place has been above and beyond. Service, food, always being kind, and it's just definitely been a great time, and I look forward to, again, more tournaments for them in this year and beyond. Have a good one.